Hello everyone, Mike of Fights with Friends. The third fight of a three-headed dragon this weekend, Saturday, August 17th. Everybody, please hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe and don't forget to ring that bell so you're notified whenever I post a new video or go live like this Saturday, August 17th for UFC 241, Daniel Cormier versus Stipe Miocic 2. Let's go into Yoel Romero versus Paulo Costa, though. Yoel Romero, 13-3. Of course, two of those losses, both kind of disputed to the current champion, Robert Whittaker. Paulo Costa, undefeated, and this kid is a monster. This is a huge challenge, I believe, for Yoel Romero, and the odds reflect that. Costa just coming in a slight underdog at plus 130. I believe those odds have moved a little bit since they first came out, and this has been very personal between these two. This is Yoel Romero and Paulo Costa. Both these guys, they've never really had animosity towards their opponent. They've never really had a fight where it's personal. And these two, both of them have been shrouded around steroid or PED allegations. Both men suspended by USADA at different times. Yoel Romero ended up suing Gold Star Performance, winning $27 million, of course, on a tainted supplement lawsuit. Paulo Costa got a shortened suspension because I believe they found out it was because it was for an IV. He did not test positive for performance-enhancing drugs per se. But taking an IV after the weigh-in within the 24 hours before the fight, that is against the rules. So that's why he had a short suspension. And these guys, they've really went at it with a war of words. Both men have accused each other of being on PEDs, of being not natural. And let's listen into a little bit of both of their interviews. First, we'll go to Costa. He talked about his animosity and is this personal with Yoel Romero. This from MMA Fighting.
Because the both. I want to fight against him because he talks shit a lot about me. He's a personal for me. And because I'm ready for everybody on this division. I'm ready. I will show who is the new king of this division. It's me. You know, I can beat everybody.
When you say it's personal with you, is that because of the things you said about your side, or is there something else that maybe we don't know?
Yeah. It's personal. It's personal. It's 100% personal. And because he's number 2 or number 1, right? So I'm very excited for this fight.
Are you a type of fighter that fights better when there is animosity between you and your opponent?
Yes. Especially when I am an underdog, you know? I feel, man, I will prove for everybody who I am, you know?
Is this the most you've ever disliked an opponent?
No. In Brazil, I had a most conflict fights, you know?
So there you go. Paulo Costa didn't really go into a whole lot of details, but said, yes, this is 100% personal. I think that's all we need to hear. Let's look into his record, though, coming into this 12-0. Like he said, he's also motivated by being an underdog coming into this fight, although it be slight. This is going to be his 5th fight in the UFC, and already he's fought some pretty big names. Some of these guys getting a little bit older. Johnny Hendricks, of course, that was towards the end of his career. Did knock him out, though. And then Uriah Hall. Coincidentally, he fought on the first Miocic versus Cormier fight. Now he's fighting on the second one, and he pieced up Hall very well. And Yoel Romero, he's a lot bigger fighter than Uriah Hall is. So I think this is going to be a whole different challenge for Costa. Let's go into Romero, though, the soldier of God and a millionaire. $27 million now, of course, from that settlement, Gold Star Performance. Even if he sees a fraction of that, I mean, it's probably going to be more money than he's made in his entire mixed martial arts career. Hats off to him for keep fighting. To keep fighting, he wants that title. Let's listen to a little bit of his interview. It's a little hard to hear him because of the thick accent. He spent a lot of his life in Cuba, but I think it's worth giving him a few minutes of our time. This courtesy Submission Radio, Yoel Romero warning Paulo Costa to be careful.
The most important is, for me, no, it's personal. For me, no, it's personal. See him, I wanted the personal fight, I say, be careful. Because I know John. I have no play. So you want to fight me? Be careful what you want to say. Because I never have a problem in the personal fight. Because I hear the war. Oye las guerras.
So there you go. Both men saying it's 100% personal. Yoel Romero saying, be careful what you wish for. Because you're going to get a soldier of God like you've never seen. Somebody coming into this with animosity. Be interesting to see how both of these fighters come in with animosity. Paulo Costa talking about he's had a fight like this where there was some bad blood. This is the first one I remember, at least in the UFC, of Yoel Romero. Only one I know of. Look at his past 5 fights for Yoel Romero. As I always say, if you want a good picture of who a fighter is, look back at their last 5 fights. They're probably the same fighter they were 3 fights ago. Maybe they're definitely not the same fighters they were 6 fights ago. So I think it's a good number. Of course, lost 2 of the last 5. That's pretty deceptive. Both to Robert Whittaker. I thought he definitely won the second one. To be fair, the judges were just kind of getting down this whole new 10-8 thing, and very few people, I believe, that know what they were talking about thought Yoel Romero won that fight. It was a split decision. As you can see, only 2 of the judges gave it to Whittaker. He's got a victory, split decision over Ronaldo Souza. That was a few years back, though, but then knocked out Chris Weidman with the flying knee in 2016. And then knocked out Luke Rockhold, former champion Luke Rockhold, as well. And has not fought for over a year since that war with Robert Whittaker. Both those guys were really, really beat up after that fight. But this one's going to be a really fun one. Both of these guys, of course, have a ton of power. Yoel Romero obviously should have the wrestling advantage in this. Paulo Costa has very good takedown defense. And if he does get taken down, he's very good at popping right back up. And he's also very good in the transition. With when a fighter is getting up or when he's getting up, he's good at avoiding getting caught while he's getting up, which Yoel Romero is really good at catching people like that. He's also very good at hitting people on the transitions, from getting up, from clinches, different things like that. Yoel Romero, of course, very good dirty boxing. I think he's going to be a little more balanced on the inside, too. I think that wrestling background helps him because it gives Costa one more thing to think about. Are you going to get hit with an elbow? Are you going to get hit with a knee? Are you going to get taken down? Costa's got a little more to think about in this one, and even with Costa being younger, that's why I'm going to give this one to the Soldier of God. I think Yoel Romero, I don't know if he found the fountain of youth or what, but he looks as good as ever. It's amazing. I think he's got it in him for one more time. I'm going to say Yoel Romero pulls this one off by unanimous decision or a late stoppage. Paulo Costa definitely has the power to finish this. Definitely, potentially a future champion at 185. He actually said he would fly out to Australia for that fight with Israel Adesanya and Robert Whittaker. Hopefully he's not, counting his eggs before they're hatched. But Yoel Romero said he would not make that flight. He said, I'll spend time with my family. He said, I'll spend time with my family. So just a great fight at 185. And like I said, 3 great fights at 185. Click the video in the top right hand or the bottom left hand, and you see my breakdown for Stipe Miocic versus Daniel Cormier 2, and for Nate Diaz versus Anthony Pettis. Please check those out. Don't forget to join us live this Saturday, August 17th, for a live fight companion starting at 3:30, UFC 241, Daniel Cormier versus Stipe Miocic 2. Guys, as always, I love you. I respect you. And I'll see your fine asses Saturday, August 17th.